You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. All right, let's get going. Okay, there we go. All right. Hey, everybody. Yeah, there we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Thursday night HoopPath class, and it's good to see you guys. I need to... for those of you that weren't here on Monday night, I am trying some different things with the chat just to see if if it gets better. I'm not sure that it is, but we had the comic book thing, and some of you like that. But Tara likes to read your comments, and it was difficult for her to read it on her monitor here, and she loves reading the comments. So we switched it around, and we have kind of something kind of new. But let me know what you think of it. It's extra big for the opening, but it should be normal size for the class. So I don't really know where to start today. A big portion of the Hoop community doesn't read the news. I follow most of you on social media, and I think that you probably read it enough. That you know that this is a historic day. No matter what happens after today, it's historic. And I can't believe that another country's war like this is political here in the United States, but I'm not surprised. But I've never asked you what your political leanings are, and I don't care, and I'm not making a political statement right now. War is ugly. It is ugly. If you listen to any veterans podcast, no matter how right-wing or left-wing they are, they all talk about how much war sucks, and that the American people just don't understand how ugly it gets. And we're not going to spend our whole night talking about the ugliness of war, but that's what brings me in front of you right now, and that's what I'm feeling. My personal life is going great. I'm on day 7 of my alcohol, now I'm on day 9, I guess, of my alcohol fast. I finally made it, crested over the hill. I'm feeling good again. But this news is such of an impact to me, and I think it should be to all of us, that it is worth a mention in a hoop class. And I know you guys will probably all feel the same way. I'm probably preaching to the choir here. Growing up Quaker, growing up with my mom's being Quaker, nonviolence and especially resistance against war is just one of the sort of fundamental values that we have. So growing up with that in my household, I don't know if there's been a war since my first social action was to protest a war, which is the first Gulf War. I wasn't protesting because I thought that Kuwait deserved to be invaded. I was protesting because I thought we were acting rashly and there was going to be a lot of lives, and this was a big area for us to move into. I was sort of wrong about that war, but then we know what happened afterwards. So I've never, ever, ever supported invading any country, so I'm not being political. I have protested my own country. So my heart hurts for the people of Ukraine, not knowing very many Ukrainians. I do know some from New York. It's a good question. Why does history keep repeating itself? And and it's, I want this class to be about hope, and we're gonna get into some, I feel like y'all are peacemakers with me, and we need this, whatever connection you think you have. I need it tonight. I need you to need it tonight, because this is a big moment where there's lots of lives on both sides of the line that are scared shitless right now. They were showing pictures of the capital and other big cities in Ukraine, and people were just kind of moving about casually. Well, shit just got real. And so my heart goes out to every Ukrainian. And I am not picking, I only know what I'm seeing and reading. I don't have any insight into this, so I'm not picking a side. I'm just picking the side of peace here, and that's what this whole thing is about. Okay. So what I thought we would do is I wanted to, since most of you have had class with me before, and this is not really going to be a foundations class, I do kind of want to naturally invoke Pasha the Peacemaker, because Pasha the Peacemaker is the third Maidan that comes into the story, and she's the one that comes up with Piace. And I think I've shared this story in these streams, but if you don't know, one thing that's appropriate about Pasha right now is that she got her nickname, the Peacemaker, not by her two sisters at the time, her two kindred sisters, but she got it from the tribe, actually two tribes that were brought back together to be as one tribe. Because she had walked in, it's a long story, but she walks into basically a civil war between two warring twins, two male twins that are warring over their father's kingdom. And they are about to have this great battle, and Pasha walks out, or, they're about to have this great battle, and Ana is there, and Saza is there, and Pasha's there, and she sort of disappears. And Saza and Ana are mixed up in like a sort of kerfuffle, and people are violent on both sides, and there's sort of these two warring factions are getting closer and closer. You have to kind of like imagine it. And then all of a sudden, as Saza is holding back one side and Ana is holding back the other, Pasha begins to march into the circle, and the crowd just begins to clear. And they are all sitting there, and as the crowd clears, it's like their faces just drop, and it was like all the anger just fell from them. And as the crowd was parting, as this thing was moving towards the center of the circle, it was Pasha. And behind her, she had all the children of both tribes dressed in adult armor. And some of these little girls were carrying swords, and these little boys were trying to hold a spear. And she marched these children out in front of this big circle of these two warring. The fight is on, and she marched them out. And Pasha says to the crowd, she says, no matter what happens today, there will be another one of these. This cycle will never end. The only way it can end is when there are no more of you. So Pasha says to the crowd, she says, so let your children fight. Let them fight now. And let's be done with it. And of course, no human being is going to throw their child into war. And so the tribes embrace their children, and that's how they created peace. And as a reward, the Maidan get their forest, the place they get to live, and Pasha gets a really cool nickname called the Peacemaker. So we'll start off with Sway. All right. Audible breath in. The first step of Pasha's peace plan is breathing. Audible breath in. Oh, oh no.
You know how I feel. Ooh, 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 ooh. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm not sure. All right, I'm hoping that people can find me again. I'm just going to wait for a second to see if anybody shows up. So for those of you watching this on replay, I just pressed the death button and didn't realize it, and it killed the whole stream, and we were having a good stream. So hopefully I can fix this or get people back. We'll see. Okay, there we are. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. My apologies to everybody. I don't know if Facebook automatically re-resumes, but they should. Okay, Carla. Okay, people are here. And now, Tara is actually here. Wait, what is this? There's one thing we got fixed right now. There we go. Okay. Okay, cool. Sorry guys for that. All right, let's we're going to start back into Sway here. Okay. As I was saying, the first step of Pasha's peace plan is breathing. Audible breath in. A next step in Pasha's peace plan is making yourself peaceable. Not necessarily agreeable, but peaceable. Open to being in a peace relationship with someone or something. Audible breath in. Open, open, open. Audible breath in. The next step is in expressing that peaceableness. That might mean listening. That might mean speaking. It might mean showing up. It may even mean backing down. Audible breath in. Open, open. Okay. All right, let me take a water break here. T, thanks for jumping in on the fly there. Okay, cool. That's all right. Okay. All right. Okay, for our next exercise in this, there we go, in this peace class of ours, we're going to play with a concept that the exercise will be basically point technique. But I wanted to, in one of the Myth and Flow classes, I talked about a sort of story related to this. And it has really short setup that Saza went into the dream world with Naya. And she's laying on her back and she's looking at this big full moon in front of her. And she's just blown away by the beauty of it. And it's lighting her face. And Naya's with her, which means she's dreaming. And so she puts her hands on the moon. And she pulls it out of the sky. And she begins to like dance with it. And she steps through it, and the technique and whatever is not so much important. The real focus of the exercise is point technique. But I'm inviting you to feel as if you're dancing with something beautiful, worthy of that beautiful thing. Keep your breath with you. My wish and my hope for you as a peacemaker is that you know in your heart that self-worth is the key to making peace. You have to value yourself enough to make peace. Peace allows dignity. Okay. Let's see. T, how you feeling? Anything to say? Okay. Okay. One of the things that I wanted to teach tonight before all this craziness happened, I wanted to include a technique, and so I think I do want to talk. She can read your comments now, guys. Last week she couldn't read them. But there's the techniques that I wanted to talk about. One of them was swing technique tonight, because we've been hitting on that, and I wanted to come back to it. And I don't want to try to associate it with peace, but I think it has a very peacefulness to it. But since it's Thursday night, I do want to include some technique. So we're not going to work on one thing specifically, but we can imagine if we're Saza and we go grab the moon, and then we allow our hands to come to some swing point, and then we swing from there. And then at any time we want to come out of this, we could swing and go right back into Saza dancing with the moon. Boom, boom. And you can do this with two hands or one. I'm in point position. And this is just a simple swing. This would be the simplest, hypnotizing. And what happens, even though this is going to sound like a flow nerd thing to say, but basically that basic swing is what you use. You just start to manipulate where the swing is coming from. And so this is like that traditional swing. Like you can see my hands are just completely flat. Boom. And then this is if I fold them out into double point. Nice T. And now if I start to put some extension at the end as I swing it out, I put some extension, I let it go out. That deadens the swing for a second, and then I pop my hands back a little bit, and that'll help swing it back over here. Boom, 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 boom. Good, good. And you can change your height, the height of your hands. You can do it down here, But I have noticed that you get a good arm workout, but it's not that much harder to keep it just a little bit higher. And I think it almost makes it easier because it keeps it in your, like it's more directly in your line of sight. All right, I'm gonna talk a little. So this is our swing technique. And it didn't captivate me as long as some of the other techniques, but I got really into swing for a while, mostly because of what it could do with isolations. Because if you think about it, like this is the old Cadillac isolation, right? If I'm doing this, the hoop is swinging. It's just that I'm holding the pivot point. The swing is still there. It's just I'm changing the... And so you can really like just... I'll try to demo some of this and shut up so you can maybe practice. Someone asked me once about, can you get gooey with swing? And of course you can, but you can really get gooey like if I'm in swing and I like say I'm not really feeling like I'm wanting to just keep it slow and gentle and gooey. I can swing out, fold the hoop right back on me, swing it out, swing out. Swinging back and forth, and then just interrupt it. But if you're watching at home, this is your standard isolation, right? I'm going the northern arc. And then this is a point isolation, and to really, since you don't have grip to really, and it's not going to be as crisp as a samurai, but like you have to keep movement on the hoop. That's what makes it sticky. So when I pop it out, I snap it back. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Any thoughts? You like that one? All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, I hope that technique switch wasn't too abrupt, but I was having fun with it. One thing I thought I would point out, though, is that there was a move, and moves are not for everybody. One of the reasons I don't like to teach moves is because no move appeals to everybody. But you can, in these sort of like hug knocks that Ann does, or that people do, you can do those down here, and you can sort of start to think of swing a little bit down here as well. And then if I want to go all the way around, I can just hold the hand, and you're not wearing slides, you can just hold the hands together, and then, yep, nice tee, and then just send it all the way around. Boom. Whew, wow. It's time to stop putting off that yoga class for me. All right, well, let's do another sort of sway-y type song. Actually, that's a little slow. Yeah, okay, this is good. All right. Show you some variations. You can ask me about it if hopefully you're hooping and having fun and you're not watching me, but you can ask me about these variations if you need to. These are all swings. Yeah, it is. Your hand, the hoop is being pinned between your torso, your core, and your hands. So there's different ways you can do that, but that's what's happening here. I'm doing double point here. Oh, okay. That one's a little bit better. I used to be able to do several of these, but okay. All right. I like doing little tosses over, once you get the swing too. You can add a little toss to it. I'll show you from the side. Thank you so much. Did I click that?
Restoring our fortress of the light. Attention to you, seller of dreams. The war is over as it seems like wildfire transmutes the land. The pursuit of gold is the pursuit of lead.
Yeah. 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 Well, there's no right or wrong, definitely, as you know, Rita. I think it's just cool that you can do it with the third point. That's good. And then, definitely, and, I was watching T, and of course, once you get the hoop in any kind of sort of what in HoopPath we call these folds. Oops. In HoopPath we call these folds, and once you have, it's almost like in martial arts or something, or what I heard at jiu-jitsu is like. It's like there's a sort of a series of moves that can come from having this, right? This is me down here. If I flipped it on, boom, boom. Okay. All right. What's your energy level like, Tara? All right. I promised a gentle class. So I think we'll just keep it gentle then. And fire away if you have any questions. Let's see. I think we should just go ahead and jump onto the core. I want to show you one quick thing about slow core hooping, and then I think we'll play a song. I think the song speeds up. It's probably going to get me kicked off of Facebook, but I doubt I'm on there anyway. But I want to show you something where you don't have to even turn for very long to get some flight on the hoop. And some of you probably can turn quicker than I can. Almost as soon as you start turning, you will get some flight on the hoop. And by flight, I mean that the hoop leaves, the other point of contact leaves the side of the body. And when you want to learn how to slow shoulder hoop, one of the cheat codes is being able to not get dizzy. You get used to that, but to keep stalling constantly. And so you're keeping, that's what that is. That's what causes the hoop to go up. You're in a stall. And so when you're wanting to do kind of like slow shoulders or not go crazy with the shoulders, you can kind of let your hoop plane drop, almost to like a penny. We're going to do some slow, gooey core hooping to wrap it up. And this doesn't have to look like our average. This doesn't have to look like our typical core hooping. Your artist, you can make it look like you'd like to make it look.
The wings of my porcelain dove, they don't trouble the waters, my love, frozen in time.
So there's that move again. So stalls really work. Oh, sweet, Rachel, welcome back. See that? That's the same move we were just doing. Shoulder hooping. Creating that flight by turning towards the current. And then I can bring up both. One of the things I don't talk enough about is piace. That's Pasha's big idea. And it shows up in the learning process. Because you find one piace, you find one sustainable thing, and then you move from that to something else. So when you're learning a move, if I'm trying to learn slow shoulders, maybe I'm really struggling with this, but I can hold it in point. That seems to be working. And then that becomes my strong point. And I go back to that. That's piace building.
Dark was the night, her shape and a void in my eyes. It was black but so violently bright, like the birth of a sun. So I cried out, but my voice could not be heard aloud. For hell he is safe in my mouth. The bird was done. Oh, your stars are
see. You need to see me again. There we go. Okay, so we kind of worked our way into the last few songs here, and I kind of want to sort of bring back a little bit of our theme tonight, and I'm just inviting you. I'm just inviting you into my crazy headspace that you are this magical being and that your thoughts have power and that you can send peaceful thoughts, that you are magical enough that you can send them out into everyone's subconscious here and abroad and in the conflict zone. I want you to imagine that with me, just my crazy world, that like you could beam in this compassionate listening, like you could bring in just through the vessel of you into that. If you think you can, or you want to put on your little kid cap and pretend you can, we'll do that as we close out for our free hoop.
You absolutely can.
Yeah, Sarah says you absolutely can.
Say hallelujah, throw up your hands. The bucket is kicked, the body is gone. Close your eyes and bow your head to rest your soul and the praise of dead. Say hallelujah, throw up your hands. The bucket is kicked, the body is gone. Dry your eyes and stand upright. Put a smile on your face, we wouldn't want us to cry. The sun will rise, the stars will shine, turning day to dusk and night till dawn. We'll pass on, but until that time, say hallelujah. Say hallelujah, hallelujah, say hallelujah, throw up your hands, the bucket is kicked, the body is gone, have mercy, it's a wonderful life, eternal rest for the weary, mourners party tonight. Body is gone. Wave your hands, but don't say goodbye. We're all gonna meet you on the other side.
Okay, y'all, we're going to do this one, and then we're going to do one more super slow one. So we'll do this one as a free hoop. I know a lot of times people bounce. I just want to say, oh, I can't talk over this.
Whoa. Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison is the wind that blows from the north and south and east. Whoa, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now. Oil wasted on the oceans and upon our seas, fish full of mercury. Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be. No, radiation underground and in the sky, animals and birds who live nearby our lives. Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be. What about this overcrowded land? How much more will you from me? Can't you stand? No,
Welcome, Rita. I'm glad we have that in common, amongst many things. Okay, guys, this will be our last song. This is a super slow song, just to call it a night. But we'll hoop during it. But go ahead and give the folks at home a goodbye there too, just in case they peace out first. All right, here we go. This is our last song. I won't talk anymore. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Rachel, Carla, Jennifer, everyone that found me. Sorry for the kill switch again.